Hi there. This is another book and movie update. I know these are not that well viewed. I mean, people watch them, so I'm keep doing them. But this is more for me, maybe. The vinyl videos are for me as well, but I just wanted to do these. And if I keep getting people to watch them, I'll keep doing them. So just let me know if you like them. I think you do. Yeah, I got a bunch of books and a bunch of movies. So let's get started. I'm starting with the books. This is A Mad Guide to Leisure Time, written by Vic DeBartolo and drawn or illustrated by George Woodbridge. I love these Mad Pockets. They're pretty cool. I like American Mad. I don't really care for the Dutch Mad magazine that existed for a time in the 80s and 90s. That was horrendous. The jokes were sort of transformed to Dutch Dutch audiences, and it lost all uh, all the power of the jokes. But so I'm glad whenever I see one of these that I can pick them up because these are fun. I have a whole bunch of these Mad Pockets. So that's like small time entertainment. This is big artsy fartsy kind of entertainment. John Milton's Paradise Lost. It's a poem from the 16th century or 17th century. I don't really know it that well, except I know it's a classic, and the band Paradise Lost named themselves after this one. Um, it's one of those poems which have huge explanations underneath all. Like this is all explanations on what was above in the text. I can't show it, damn it. But yeah, it's a pretty thick poem, as you can see. But I'm really glad I saw this because this is something really cool. Some just sleazy paperback novels, whatever. I don't know if you can call these sleazy, but this is Easy Tub. Death is a Dream. But this is one of those novels that if you flip it around, you get another novel. And this time it's Computer War by Mac Reynolds. I mean, the artwork is just, I love the artwork. That's why I collect these. So you can read two books in one. Then we got Anthony Burgess's 1985, which is a retelling, reimagination of 1984 by George Orwell. It's by the writer of A Clockwork Orange, and you hardly ever see books by him, so I had to pick this up. It doesn't get, from people that I know online, they don't really care for it that much. First part of the book is a sort of an essay on the original 1984 book, and then he starts his own version of it. I mean, it's interesting, and I'm going to read it for sure. This is Dangerous Curves by Peter Cheney, or Shaney. That's him there. This is a pretty cool. He is a guy whose some of his books were turned into film noir movies, and I love film noir movies. Always pick up anything related to film noir as well. So, but this is a cool book. It's printed in Holland. It's from 1950 something. This is from the 50s. I'm positive, but it doesn't say. Um, but the cool thing about it is the vintage advertisements. Here you can take up Palmanism, whatever the hell that is. And here we have a toothpaste advertisement. And here we got a advertisement for a jewelers on King's Cross, North London. So that's pretty cool. Then picked up Clive Barker's Everbuild. Still picking up his books. This is a thick book. Not a fast reader, so whenever I'll read this, I need to have time. More of a fantasy story instead of a horror story. That's him. That's Clive. So, yeah, I like the stuff that I've seen. I've not read any of his books yet, but the movies that were made based on his books and stories, it's just they're awesome. I got a 4 hardback novels, which are pretty damn cool. This is Stephen King's The Shining. It's a hardback version, including the dust jacket, and it's in excellent shape. This is the 1981 edition, which is the year the movie came out, but as you can see by the artwork, it doesn't feature anything from the movie, which is why I like it. Yeah, this will be my first Stephen King. I'll try to pick up more of his books, but I want them to be as close to the original print as I can get them. But this is a cool looking book. Then I picked up this. It looked interesting enough. This is Yakusa Diary, a non-fiction book by Christopher Seymour. From what I gather on the back here, it's he sort of was among the whole Yakuza in Japan. He lived among them. He interviewed them, and that's what's written in this book. Interesting stuff. I like the whole Japanese culture thing, so interesting. And the last two are upgrades. I have the paperback versions of this, but now I have the hardback versions. This is, here we are, Douglas Coupland's Shampoo Planet. I love Douglas Coupland. Amazing writer, Canadian writer, was raised in Germany. Excellent shape. And this one, another Douglas Coupland. There we are. All Families Are Psychotic. And it's got a special European price, which I don't know if it's a price in money or a price in a price. But I've read both of these books, and amazing. So very, very happy to be able to have the hardback versions of these. Those were the books. Now on to the movies. I'm going to start with the DVDs and Blu-rays. First up, the DVDs. I got this in the mail last week. It is the DVD version of The Big Combo, which is a film noir, starring Cornel Wilde, Richard Conte, Brian Donlevy, and Jean Wallace. As you can see, the little pictures there and there, they're in color, but the movie is in black and white, so thank God. I remember having seen this, but I don't really know what it's about. It's a film noir, like I said. It's a classic in the genre, and I'm really happy that I've got it. It's a UK release. That's what the disc looks like. Nothing special, it's just a movie. No bonus features or whatever. And we got Samuel Fuller's Park Row. Samuel Fuller is an amazing director. He did a lot of film noir. This is not a film noir. This is a movie about a newspaper man. It's got some extra features. It's got a very nice booklet with pictures from the movie. But it's about the cutthroat world of the newspaper business. The man with the hat, that's Samuel Fuller. Thick booklet. It's released on Masters of Cinema, Eureka Masters of Cinema. I remember I've seen this movie once before, and I remember this being a pretty damn good movie. Well shot, well acted, and the director Samuel Fuller used to be a newspaperman himself, so he knows what he's talking about. 2 Blu-rays. First, again from the Masters of Cinema series, Die Nibelungen by Fritz Lang. This is an epic movie. It's about 5 hours long. It was released originally in 1924, and it precedes movies like Lord of the Rings and fantasy movies like that. This is a dragon, and there you have Sigmund, I guess, or Siegfried. Siegfried, I guess, is his name, the character's name. Let's see if I can show. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a movie I still need to watch. I've never ever seen this, but I love silent movies. And this is a 2-discer. It's got the movie is in 2 parts, and they're on here, including extras. And this is probably, one of the more interesting releases this year. So that's good. And the last Blu-ray is this one. This is Tetsuo, both the first 2 parts, Iron Man and Body Hammer. If you don't know this movie, this series, they're industrial horror movies, science fiction movies. 2 discs. They're weird. It's about people transforming into weapons, into machines, into non-human things, and it has a very heavy industrial soundtrack, and the imagery is very industrial. The first 2 movies that are on here are from the late 80s, early 90s. There's a short film on here called The Adventures of denture Kozo, which is from 1987, I believe, and it precedes the whole industrial thing that was in this movie. That's in these movies. Directed by Shinya Tsukamoto, Japanese Madness, and I love it. It's really, really cool. It's released on Third Window Films, which is a pretty damn good company in regards to Asian films in the UK. Those were my digital movies, the DVDs, Blu-rays, but I got a handful of VHS tapes, and I need to grab 2 more. Hold on. And I'm back. These are the VHSs I've picked up. First up, Shockwaves. And I watched all of these. They're just simple movies to watch, nothing spectacular. This is about a experiment by a German lieutenant, maybe, I don't know, a guy who escaped the Second World War, and he has created German soldiers who cannot die, who can breathe underwater, and they're zombie-like, except they don't feed on brains. So it's sort of a zombie movie, but it's not. This is what they look like. They're freaking creepy. They're like Hino with goggles on. Yeah, this is a pretty cool find. I love this. I love these tapes. You know, I'm selling them. I watch them. I sell them, and I make a little profit on them. You know, just to because I don't want to clog up my living room with tapes anymore. You know, there's people out there that really collect them, and I'm not going to keep them. This is The Touch of Satan, and it's a horror movie. Yeah, this is the back. It's got a write-up in 3 languages. In Dutch, English, and Swedish, I guess. Or Danish. I guess Swedish. It's about witches and demons and possession and Satan, and it's a American film from the early 70s. It's a crazy little film. It's kind of bloody at times, but it's it's just silly. I love the cover though. Talking about silly movies, Lady Avenger. That's her. You've seen the rest, now meet the best. This is a silly revenge movie. This woman on the front, her brother and his girlfriend get attacked. Her brother dies, the girlfriend's eyes get plucked out, and she goes on a revenge trip to find the killers and kill them. One of the more simpler stories, but it's done in a cheesy, funny way. It's on a label I've never heard of, Barracuda. So yeah, it's a fun little flick from the I think from '88, maybe '87, but it's from the '80s. It's got skin, it's got blood, it's got cheesy dialogue. And that's what I like. And I got this tape, but this one I cannot sell, even though it's probably, a sought-after tape. I think it is, but the tape is nearly destroyed. I don't know, or the guy, previous owner, taped over it at points. Anyway, it's called The Hunted, and this is the Dutch title, Opgejaagd, and it's sort of a terror movie where this is by the way not in the movie, but it sort of sums up the whole movie. One guy terrorizing a woman, and she has to survive. So yeah, this is actually, it's a fun movie, but the fact that the tape wasn't really that good sort of messed it up. And 2 more. First up, it's Misfits of Science, and this is I believe a pilot or the very first episode of this series that I don't think was ever broadcast here in Holland. It's about these scientists who have powers. So it's sort of the X-Men, but cheesy and cheap and made for television. There's this guy. He is the same as that guy. He can shoot bolts from his hands. And you got here a guy that can shrink to doll size, and there's one that can push people away with her mind. She's played by, what was her name again? Courtney Cox of Friends. And it's just silly, but fun. It's silly fun. And the last tape I got, and then I'm calling it quits, is this one, Light Blast. That is indeed Eric Estrada from Cops, and it's an Italian action film from 1985. It's very, very cheesy. It's got people melting. It's got seriously bad dialogue. The music is awesome, but it's one of those typical 80s action films from Europe that, try to, overdo the American action films, and they succeed in just totally different areas. But this is a lot of fun. Um, there is a DVD out there. It's out of print. It's very, very expensive. I have a copy of it. I'm selling it. I'm selling this as well. I know that I can get some money from this. All these tapes, except this one. I can at least make some money off of them. But I watch them and I like them, but I'm not gonna keep them. So anyway, that's my update. It's gone on way too long. Thank you for watching if you watched, and I'll be seeing you soon. Peace.